Welcome to today's EMS Q&A, and we really have a great question here about do we need strong leadership at the national level, or more of a statement, right? We need strong leadership at the national level, and how do we create that? So I think there are some very interesting resources that are already out there. Number one, again, join the national advocacy group and participate, contribute to that group. There are several ones out there. We're going to link below the video and in this article and put links to those national advocacy groups. And most of them have state divisions so that you can join your state's maybe chapter. And I think they usually have some type of lobby day at the state level where you can help educate politicians and really share not only the facts and figures, but I think what really connects with people are the stories. The stories that you have and the perspective that you bring is so valuable, and that you can really help influence their perspective on what EMS is. How is it different from the fire department, right? Where does your funding actually come from? How many calls you actually do? Because if you're like most organizations, it's multiple times more than what people think. I think what you and your organization can do is really educate the public as well. That includes the elected officials, right? You may have heard the phrase, all politics is local. Since most of EMS funding comes from, those funding streams come from your local municipalities. So I think those are some great actionable steps that you can take. And really, if you're not seeing the advocacy you want at the state or national level, get passionate about it, get a group of people together, and start advocating on your own. Sometimes there's nothing better than the grassroots advocacy efforts, and reach out to some advocacy specialists, and they may be able to help direct you and maybe advise you a little bit. There are different restrictions involving lobbying, but really there's nothing that restricts most nonprofits from lobbying, as long as most of it's disclosed, from paid lobbying if it's disclosed. But it can definitely be done on a volunteer basis and advocate for your profession, for your industry. But I'd love, Lisa, if you could just mention and talk about one really useful concept that can help change on a massive scale, whether it's local or national or global level, the concept of an Appreciative Inquiry Summit.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. And I just want to say, before I jump into that, quickly, the question was, how do we create that? And I think we have to be it, right? And, it's attributed to Gandhi, who said, be the change you want to see in the world. And often we're looking to others to do what we think should be done, rather than saying, well, why not me? Why not create that by being a leader and being at a national level and working my way towards that. But I do think the Appreciative Inquiry Summit, or the concept of appreciative inquiry, is an excellent mindset, or an excellent method for engaging stakeholders at all levels. And essentially, that's what a summit is. An Appreciative Inquiry Summit, or the Appreciative Inquiry, is about wondering what works and getting perspectives from all different levels. So whether it's the paramedics and EMTs and the drivers and the volunteers within your organization and the paid staff, getting all their input, getting input from leaders, but also from elected officials, from constituents, from folks you've helped, from your donors, like getting their perspective. And there's a particular way to do that when you're not just asking, what's wrong here, but you're looking from what's worked, what attracted you to our organization, what was a high point story that you had about your involvement with our organization, or with our staff, or with our members. It's really a questioning and curiosity from a whole nother perspective. You're not out to solve a problem, you're out to discover what works and look for the root causes of that success. There's a phrase, success leaves clues. And if we're willing to have eyes for those clues, have eyes for what works and what is at the source of what works, then you can do more of it. And people love stories, as you said, and they love success stories. So it's a way to, even if you're not able to bring everybody together for a summit, which is a 2 or 3 day event, even if you are able to dispatch people from your organization to go do interviews, to get curious about what's working. In one organization you and I worked with, we actually interviewed long-term members
Mhm.
and people who have used the service and gathered stories about what worked and what were the high points. And then disseminating those stories, and especially disseminating them at town meetings and with public officials, was just invaluable. So I do think people should check out the links that we're posting. And at the risk of self-promoting, I highly recommend our book, because there's all kinds of appreciative questions in there, originally designed for use at a meeting, but honestly, they can be used for any kind of interview. So it's a great place to find appreciative questions, or just Google Appreciative Inquiry, and you'll find out more information.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching.